Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. During this week I wanted to do some of these dev notes and patch notes, and then some of them are not that exciting. This one, I definitely think that I should just talk about it. For those who haven't seen it, the duplicate 5-star summon measures are in progress. So they're in dev notes, which is in a patch note. They said that it's going to come at the latter half of the year, which we are already in it. So it could come next month, it could come next week, we have no idea. Based on I think just the UI design itself, we're getting really close. So in terms of like the graphics you see here, the treasure chests and stuff like that, that artwork usually takes development time, and like these UI, like the selection thing, it usually takes some bit of work just to make sure that everything's working. So I think it's very close. Definitely doesn't look like some kind of like a mock-up. Looks like something that's almost close to polished. Of course, in their patch notes here, or the dev notes here, they do say that the screenshots may be tentative to change, or at least when it's released in game. So something we need to be aware of. I think overall, this is something that we were looking for, especially those who have very salty, what I would call salty dupe ML5s. The whole premise of this, I think everyone was more assuming that this would be just an ML dupe feature and not so much an RGB hero dupe feature, which is quite interesting. So I'm going to talk about that. Either way, so how to acquire the coins. Every single dupe of an ML, so dupe summoned, you get 10 coins, and every single covenant, or what I'll just call RGB, so red, green, blue, RGB hero, you get past the 6th, but on the 7th you start getting coins for that as well. So you get 8 coins for RGB heroes, you get 10 for Moonlight. Here's also a very important thing. I mean, they do say it in this dev note here, but I should just make it clear that in the past, if you have played the game since the Sage Baal and a Sazan and the Silverblade Araminta nerf, when you could recall and trade your ML5 for like a ML5 selector, that will not count toward a summon. So this is strictly summons. This is not if you own the hero. So for example, if you traded your Silverblade Araminta for, let's say, Arbiter Vildred, that was your first, and you summoned one later, let's say maybe on a Mystic or on a Covenant summon, or a Moonlight even, that would count as your first. So you would need to pull a third copy of RB in order for you to start getting the benefit of the coins. So here's a screenshot preview of it. 10 coins per dupe of ML, and then 8 coin per dupe of RGB. You get to keep the hero and you get the coin. So for those who are wondering, okay, can I then use my MLs for imprints? Like say, so for example, like I have 2 Dark Corvus right now. All those Dark Corvus, you really shouldn't use Dark Corvus to imprint Dark Corvus. You could use the 4-star, or like Sage Baal and Sazan. I have a dupe of that one. Like the question I think people would ask is like, hey, is it safe? And I think yes. So at the very bottom of this dev note, we do have a notice that those who had summoned in the past, they will compensate the coins for you. So it will, I guess, drop in your mailbox or sometime, like after the system is implemented into the game. So don't panic. I think you could definitely do whatever you need, imprint your dupes or whatever if you need to. Here's a chart that does explain how it works of what I said, but more visually speaking. So I think the ML ones is very, very easy to understand. I mean, as soon as you summon the first one, and remember again, my example is that you have to summon, and then you get a dupe, you start getting 10 galaxy coins per dupe, and you get to keep the hero. So you can imprint it into themselves, or you can imprint it into your RGB ones if you really want to chase that self-imprint or the imprint release. The duplicate 5-stars become a bit of it's more expensive, but quite reasonably so, since the pity on an RGB hero is much lower than a Mystic per se. And and you can get them in way more forms. So for example, elemental summons, you can get those RGB heroes from there if you get lucky. You get them from Covenant, you can get them from Mystic rotations as well. As you're chasing the ML, you might get the RGB hero. So it does take a lot more dupes counted here. If this is your first one, summoned hero, the second, third, all the way to the sixth. So only on after the after the sixth, on the seventh summon. So in other words, after you triple S an RGB hero with their own copy, so not an ML copy, then you can start collecting the RGB coins. So you get the summon hero and then the 8 Covenant coins. For me, I was thinking about you know, what I had in terms of RGB heroes that were past triple S, and I only have one that comes in mind, and that's my Luna. So for those who actually watch me on YouTube or follow me on stream and stuff, often I would pass by my my storage and I have like 5 Luna in there. And I had a triple S Luna beforehand. When I was chasing Draco Plate, it just gave me a lot of Luna. Finally, it can sort of be worth the summons. Although I have to say, it still doesn't really tip the scales in my favor. It's a better than nothing sort of thing. That's what I feel about this whole system. It's more of like it's better than not having it. But I'll talk about that in a bit. So coins acquired, you can see here. This is the mailbox, by the way. So this is after you make the summon. Those coins go to your mailbox. You can collect it after you summon. At least that's their idea right now. Players can exchange galaxy coins, and so there's 2 separate shops. So there's a Covenant coin shop and a Galaxy coin shop, as seen on the right hand side, those tabs. First then we'll talk about the Galaxy coin one. I think this is pretty cool. Of course, it's a 30-day rotation. The ML 5-star pool, although it's still large, it's not as big as RGB heroes. So yeah, you might have to wait. I mean, depends on which ML5 maybe you're waiting for. You may have to wait a couple years. So it's gonna be it's not as like, whoa, this is so OP, not as OP as you think, unless you're a mega whale right now. But if you're mega whale right now and you have, let's say, all the ML5s and you have like dupes of them as well, you most likely already have all the heroes in the rotation here. And are you gonna really wait for a new ML5 that's released in a Mystic banner to appear in this shop before you whale for him again? So if you're a whale, I don't think this matters. Like, it's like again, nice to have, and I don't think the hero is what they're going to be focusing on. I'm gonna assume that this rotation is gonna be like starting from the oldest ones going to the newest. I mean, I think that would make the most sense. But again, it's 30 freaking days. It's 30 days. I mean, how many of us start complaining about the powder shop not rotating? Or if we have like a salty, I'm talking about the artifact powder shop. The artifact powder shop where it has like a rotation where it's like all useless artifacts. Everybody's just like, oh, I can't wait for the next one. I think it's gonna be the same here. So let's talk about something else that's not as you know, depressing. I'm not taking anything away from this feature. I think the pricing of the ML dupe, because MLs are so super rare, MLs are super effective in PvP. No matter how people say that, you know, Charles is broken, he's great, but there's something about MLs that are just, you know, if you own all the ML5s, you have a very, very strong control over who you face, let's say in RTA. So ML5s right now are still very, very rare, and they're powerful. So it's very expensive to get one. But I don't think the big whales are going to be going for the heroes here. They're going to go for the gear. I'll talk about that as we get to that image. Actually, first things first, I should talk about the Molagora here. I definitely have to say that the Molagora, it's more like, we call it like, so I used to work in the film industry as well. It's set deck dressing, as in like it's just set decoration. The Molagora here is really just to make you feel like you have a choice. There's a thing about like purchasing experiences, right? Like if you have the money, you go shopping, people like the choice. They might not be like, they want to go to the shop where you can only buy like two belts or whatever. they want to have the kind of the false sense of choice. Even if like 20 belts look like garbage and only 2 really look good, you still want the choice of not selecting the garbage. The Molagora here is the garbage. It is the poo belt. One, it costs too much, especially in the Galaxy coin shop. But the second thing is it pales in comparison to everything else. Well, not everything else. I would definitely say the hero and the equipment. Those two are the most valuable here. I mean, the reforging materials selection chest, I don't know. Again, assuming that these shops are going to be geared like towards the whales. The whales are going to go into this Gucci or this Louis Vuitton, okay, whatever. They're gonna go in there first, right? So they're not gonna look at anything below that, because reforging materials, they're hunting it like crazy. Molagora, yeah, but they're gonna buy the Mola packs anyway. So it's like whatever. They're gonna go for this random equipment thing. So first things first is just the price. I think this is good to know. So the Galaxy coin one, you get epic accessories, so ring and necklaces. 4 times per month, the exchange limit. You can refresh it 30 times. All right, we're gonna take a look at the screenshot or the image they provided so we get a better understanding of it. And then you just look at this, right? Like, really? You're trying to sell this to well. So this is set deck dressing. This honestly doesn't. No one cares. No one cares about this stuff on the bottom. All right. So only the 2 top. It's just to make it look better. I think honestly, these shops may expand in the future. They might even have artifacts for very, very cheap prices. That's the only way I think that these shops would be like sell more like hotcakes. Otherwise, like I said, if these 3 things are out of the shop in terms of people really won't care about them, then the shop really could just be these 2. But it just doesn't look as nice. So they don't. That's why they have to add that kind of garbage, the filler. The Covenant shop, it says 6 coins per Molagora, also buy 2 times per rotation. It looks like it's 30 days based on this image when it's purchased out, 29 days until the next available offer. So it looks like a 30-day rotation for everything in the shop. The RGB ones, it makes more sense that they are running 2 returns at the same time, because like I said, RGB heroes are being added to the journal way quicker than MLs. The rotations are quicker. We're getting like, I don't know, a new hero every like 2-3 weeks now. Not even 3, 2, sometimes one week. Like back to back new heroes. The RGB, obviously I believe that limited won't count here. They didn't talk about it, but I would just take that assumption. And the equipment here is random epic equipment, so boots and the left side gear. Same rules though. Purchase 4 times a month. The coins required is 3, and then you can refresh it up to 30. Now here's the thing, and I think the entire dev note, the biggest controversy honestly is not like whether or not a hero is very expensive or not. Yes, there's gonna be complaints about like, oh, this is just a whale shop. I kind of agree, but I would say that these kind of features, honestly, I mean, it's a gacha game trying to make money, but these kind of features are mainly, I think, more of like a time gated shop. So even if you're free to play and you're a luck sack and you get a ton of dupes, whereas like if I'm paid to play and I summon all the time and I always hit pity and there's just like no way for me to get multiple dupes, I'm just like, okay, fine, I'll stick to like 1 Celine, I'll stick to like 1 Mui or whatever. You know, but if you're like really lucky and you're free to play, you're gonna have access to this shop earlier than I am, right? So I wouldn't call this a whale shop. I would just literally call it, you know, a luxury shop. Sure, let's just put it that way. So select equipment. Based on these 2 images, you have to make a couple of deductions on how it works. It seems that it's kind of like when we did the selective summon in the past. I mean, you could collect all the stuff that was in that one batch summon, or you could throw it all away. Here, I mean, slightly different, but you refresh it 30 times every month. Right? Keep this in mind. Every month you refresh it 30 times. It's guaranteed to be an epic out of a set that you can eventually reforge. It's gonna be a craftable or a droppable set of gear. So within our hunts, that in and of itself is already pretty good. But then you get to select the best combination of substats. Now, based on the image here, you get three gear. Although the rolls on the speed weapon here are high, I mean, people might not roll that effect resist, but you know, the chances are, I mean, one, it's 3 epic gear. The second thing is that even if you stick to one refresh, you don't even need to buy all 3. You can buy one, I think you can. It looks that way. Actually, maybe you have to buy them all. Wait. Actually, I just thinking that yeah, you can pick, right? No, I'm just thinking that are you right, each one does cost 3 coins. Never mind. Yeah, you can pick, so you can stop. Right. So based on these images, you can stop, but once you purchase the first one, I think you can't refresh. At least this is what this image is telling me, since the refresh button is grayed out. I think that some people are saying that, you know, this could potentially be like very broken. I would have to say again, if you are a whale, and you already have really easy access, so in terms of like you pull dupes all the time, you have easy access to this shop. I think based on the ratio on, like, you know, how much a whale spends, they might not even benefit from this feature that much. Like, not as much as we think. Like, unless they get something good. Like, I mean, everybody, the whole chase of this game is keep farming, keep crafting, keep farming, keep crafting until RNG rolls your way, and until you roll high on a said perfect gear. And that chase is endless, since you're gonna have endless heroes until the game stops. So this will speed their progress up, but they're in a place where their progress is so far that I actually literally don't know how much this would benefit them, and they would only buy this just because they have the coins left, not because they want the gear here. I don't think any whale in their right mind is gonna pull for dupes past the triple S in order to get the gear. So in terms of like what I've been hearing, like on Discord and other areas where it says that this is really OP, I don't think it is. It is because it looks like it's easily accessible, but I really don't think so. I don't think so, at least. So for example, like the powder. For those watching this video, those on the stream chat right now, you guys know Code very well. I mean, if you don't know Code, he's a top player, very good player, and he often has like really good gear. If you've seen his powder shop, I mean, he has way more powder than he can use. That's what I'm trying to explain. So much powder, and he has all the artifact anyway. So unless he's going for a second copy of a max limit broken 5-star artifact, it really doesn't benefit him, and he actually always gets more powder than he can use. This is what I think would happen if there are mega whales accessing this. The only thing that I would say that may change is that will whales stop spending on the equipment packs because this is here? And would they rather spend now more on summoning instead? Although the question still remains is more of like, if you do have like just so many heroes, you have them at triple S, you have the coins from the dupes, like the other issue is like the you know, what do you do with the 5 stars? Yeah, I guess you could just feed it into the MLs for imprints. You could literally transmit it for silver transmit stones. You could use it as fodder. Just overwhelming riches. But for those who may not be that lucky or not put that much money or your life savings into the game, I definitely don't recommend it. Treat this feature as just like a nice to have. So as you're progressing through the game, as you're playing the game, and you're just like, oh, I got an ML! It's like, oh crap, it's a dupe Dark Corvus. It's like, wait a minute, now I can use this dupe Dark Corvus for something more productive, right? So I don't think this overall system is overpowered. I think this overall system is just another addition to the game that makes the game a lot more friendly. And again, I don't think the gap between like power is gonna be super noticeable just because this is here. If you're noticing a power gap already, it's because whales farm non-stop. That's where the power gap lies. I don't think that this is gonna change much in terms of power. Just based on a couple of the account reviews I've done in the past from the top players, they have like all the core heroes built, all the the RTA core heroes built, all the GVG, all the counter to this hero, counter to that hero, all of them built with like top gear. There's nothing missing. The only thing that they can do now is just literally put more gear on dogs. If you guys haven't watched my Sir Pig account review, you would know what I'm talking about. I'm actually gonna upload another account review I did recently. Like, they just have so much gear, they don't even know what to do with it, honestly. So anyways, that's my thoughts on it. Just keep in mind that yes, I think you can use your dupes for whatever purposes you need. Once the system goes through, you will get the coins in your mailbox for those dupes that you have pulled before the system is implemented. Anyways, that's my full thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below for the YouTube video, of course. Yeah, I love to hear what you guys think, and I'm gonna end this here. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.